All right, everyone, how you doing today? So, I've got a few things to clear up, but about the whole racing thing over the weekend, the world record supposedly that I said I had. But before we get into that, got to do a little bit of housekeeping maintenance on the car. So, still got the Hellcat Redeye on its drag pack. I've been lazy this week, haven't swapped it over, so we're gonna swap over these, the stock wheels, and then that car just hit 15,000 miles. And what we're going to do, we're going to do a nice oil change because you've been changing it about every 5,000 miles or so. So this will be the third oil change on the Scatpack. So we got ourselves 7 quarts of Mobil 1's finest 0W40 from AutoZone. Boom. Oh no. Oh, box is falling apart. K&N HP 2010 oil filter. So since this has been sitting all week on the drag pack and the rear tires are actually really soft, I'm going to take it down the street real quick because they can get a little flat spotted the longer they sit, especially since I was kind of dumb and didn't pump the tire pressures up before I parked it all week, so they're still like 17 pounds. I'm driving down the street real quick, get the flat spots out of them, and we'll come back, take it, swap the stock wheels on, and then it'll be time to pull the Charger in, do the oil change. So let's get to it. Been a while since we've done a nice cold start on the channel, so let's get it. Alright, we're gonna take it around the block, be right back. Alright, so as you can see here, we are at the back of the car, and I just wanted to go over, and I'm not sure if I put this in a video before, all the steps I've taken to make sure that these big old welds fit back here. So, if you're going to get these welds 17 by 10, I think they're the S71s, one thing that you are going to have to do for sure is right here, you're going to have to trim this little liner right here, because there's actually this flap that extends back towards the wheel. It's probably, I think it was like a couple inches, maybe like out to here. But all I basically did is trimmed that right along this line here, so that way it doesn't hit the inside of the wheel. A lot of guys report that there's this rib right here, so a lot of guys say that they have rubbing along this rib, and that you would have to, some guys actually take a hammer and beat this down in and kind of smooth it out. Fortunately, I didn't have to do that. I didn't really get rubbing along here, but in order to ensure that no matter what, I wasn't going to get the rubbing here, I run a 3mm spacer. It's like one of the smaller spacers, not the smallest. One of the smaller spacers you can run. But I got this from, I think it was Billet Technologies, and you know, just slides, you know, if I can line it up, slides right over your lugs, and then that's it. It sits between the hub and the wheel. One thing you got to make sure though, if you run any more, I think the limit is a 5mm spacer. They're going to require you to get extended lugs if you want to run at the track. But a 3, you still have plenty of room, especially with the open-ended lug nuts that I run. You still have plenty of room to make sure you pass tech and stuff at the racetracks. And then the one final thing I did do to ensure that the wheels fit, let me see if I can get an eye on it right here. So this here, shortened sway bar end link. So what it actually does is it pulls this top part down. So you can see here where they've modified. I'm pretty sure this is probably an OEM one. I got these from High Horse Performance. They kind of cut and then re-weld the sway bar end link. I think it's like an inch or two shorter. I'm not really sure. Didn't measure them. But it basically pulls the top end of the sway bar down, so that way it prevents it from hitting the inside barrel of the wheel. I know a lot of guys say that what you can do instead of jacking it up, you know, from the jack point here, a lot of them say you can jack it up from the suspension in order to mount the welds, so that way it doesn't hit. But I think it was like 80 bucks for those, so I'm really not too worried. Like, now I can jack it up basically from the easier point, not have to worry about it, and I know it's never going to touch the wheels. So those are the only two things I've really done, well, 3 if you include trimming some plastic, to ensure that the wheels fit. We'll continue to swap back over to the stock wheels, and yeah, just wanted to highlight that. I'm not sure if I showed it in a video before, but now you guys know. Alright, so we got the Hellcat moved out, back on the stock wheels. Time to pull in the Scatpack, but guess what? We not only got 1 cold start today, we're getting 2. So here we go, 2 cold starts. Now, I'm going to move this in real quick because the last thing I wanted to do is get really warm before I change the oil in it. So I'm going to put the ramps down, and we're going to get started. So we got it jacked up. I got a jack on each side, and then I also have some jack stands underneath as well. But yeah, here's the beast. Yeah, beast. 6.4 Hemi. So we're just going to go ahead and change the oil. I mean, there's a million how to change your oil videos on the internet, so I'm not really going to show you guys. But I tried using the little ramps up here to get the car up, and one, it was too low and it was starting to scrape right here on this edge, and then it was actually just pushing the ramps forward as I was trying to drive up on it. So back to old-fashioned jacks. Probably gonna have to invest in some better ramps, ones that are longer and for a more low profile, I guess. But yeah, we'll go ahead and change the oil. Then we're going to talk about what I referenced at the beginning of the video in regards to the racing this past weekend. So yeah, see you after I change the oil. All right, everyone, so Charger's done. Hellcat's back in the garage. So now, what y'all been waiting for, what I'm going to talk about. So, as y'all know, this past Thursday, I posted a video saying that I set the world record for the Hellcat Redeye. Well, in the description of that video, I said, if you know of anybody that has run faster, go ahead and comment it, and I'll change the title and thumbnail. Some of you might have noticed, I changed the title and thumbnail. So, apparently, a guy in Florida has ran a 10:02. Fair play. So now I know what I got to beat. Obviously, you know, we're only a 10th off of that. So I ran the 10:13. Now I just got to get down to a 10:02 or better. Basically, I need to run a 9. So we're going to try again next month when it gets even cooler. And then we're going to keep trying as we go through the fall, as long as the tracks are open. We're going to try and run that 9. End of story. Because, I mean, I'm not saying that my only goal is to have the fastest or quickest Hellcat Redeye in the country, but it's just something that I know this car, the way it's spec'd, is capable of doing, and it's something that I'd like to have, you know. So it gives us a goal for the channel. We're going to keep trying, and I think we'll be able to do it. I mean, we're only a 10th off, so, and the DA is only going to be getting better. So compared to the worst pass this car's ever made in July, I think it was July or beginning of August, was a like a 10.5. It's like a 10.53 or something like that. So very worst pass. We had over, it was like high 3,000s DA. So basically every 1,000 DA that we're knocking off, we're taking a 10th or 2 out. So this past weekend we were at negative 225, and we were basically 4/10ths faster. So if we can get another, you know, couple hundred in the DA down, maybe close to negative 1,000 DA, which would be just absolutely fantastic, I definitely think we could take at least another 10th off of this car. So that's what we're shooting for. That's the goal. And then maybe next year we turn it up. I don't know, but I discussed that in a previous video. We'll see. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think we're going to be able to get that time. If not, it is what it is. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.